Hey guys, Ben Satterlee here, coming to you from my home studio in Nashville, Tennessee, and today we're talking about the insanely beautiful Concept.
It's a classic
Series from PDP. These drums, they sound great, they look great, they feel great. They're my favorite. I love them. So one of the things I'm doing for this video versus the other ones is instead of having just one setup tuned a couple different ways, I have two setups tuned a couple different ways. So I have the bop setup, which is the 18-inch bass drum, the 12-inch rack, and the 14-inch floor tom, which is this one. And then I have the 22-inch bass drum, the 13-inch rack, and the 16-inch floor tom. So you're gonna get to hear both of them tuned up a couple different ways to show how versatile these drums really are. So let's get started. Okay, so for this very first setup, the drums are tuned a little bit above mid, and they are ringing, and they just sound so good. So let's hear what that sounds like. Alrighty guys, so for this second clip, we're going to change the overall vibe of this kit without touching the tuning. So what I'm going to do is add some organic elements to mimic what you might do on a gig when you need to change the feel from song to song. So one of the first things I did was I changed out the square beater for this fluffy one. So much less attack, much more of a round, warmer sound. The second thing I did was I put these T-towels, just like Ringo, on the rack tom and the floor tom to deaden the sound. So a lot more percussive and a lot less resonance. Third thing I did was I switched out the sticks for these plastic rods, so it drops the dynamic even more, so really vibey. And the very last thing I did was I added one of these really cool groove changer things to add this really dirty decay sound to the snare while also drying it out. So let's hear what that sounds like. Alrighty guys, so now we're talking about the big drums. We got the 13-inch rack tom, the 16-inch floor tom with a 22-inch bass drum. These drums are low and tubby. The same snare, just tuned down a little bit. The toms are really low, not quite slack, but just a hair above with just a little bit of tape. And then the bass drum head is pretty much completely slack with a couple blankets in there for muffling. They sound really good, and this is actually my favorite kit of all the kits I own, just because I just feel like it has all the character in the world and it sounds amazing. So let's hear what they sound like. There's one thing I forgot to mention. The low end on the 22 is so insane that it shakes the camera no matter where I put it in the room. Alrighty guys, so for clip 1, they were low and tubby. For clip 2, so here's what that sounds like. Concept Classic line are incredible. They both look and sound amazing live and in the studio. So whether your vibe is the bop or the big boys, these drums will not disappoint.